Hello guys, welcome back to calculus class. And this time I will go over question number 18 and 21, 22, and I'm not sure if I have a time to go over until question number 26, but let's try our best. So question number 18. Question is asking, we have this one, and what's the approximation of f of 10 of the line tangent? So whenever you see one line tangent, it's going to be y equals mx plus b, okay? Because that's a linear line at point 8, comma 2. So we want to find, we already know x value and y value, but we don't know the slope. And slope is obviously the, what's it called? Derivative of this one, because we want to find this, whatever. So let's do that. F of x equals, do you see this cube root? I will just write as x to 1/3 power, okay? So if you want to find slope, it's going to be first derivative, which is going to be 1/3 x to the negative 2/3. And it's going to be what? Same thing as a 1/3 cube root of x squared, okay? But you want slope, that's the first, this one, right? Now again, slope. You want to find slope at this point, right? Because it's going to be constant no matter what. So let's plug in 8 because that's the x value. So f prime of 8. The reason that I'm not plugging in 2 is because this one is the f of x, which is x, right? That's why I'm plugging in x, okay? So let's do this. 1/3 times cube root of 8 squared. And as you can see, 8 squared is equal to 64. Now, you got to do it by yourself. What's the cube root of 64? Something times something times something gives you 64. If you cannot do it, you can even use calculator, so you got to come up, you got to actually memorize it. This one is going to be 4. Like, you must memorize this one. Okay? Until here. I recommend you to memorize until 6, but if you can do it, you can do it like that. How do I memorize this one? Because I was teaching algebra 2 forever, so that's how I memorized until 8. I mean, I think I know 9, but I don't want to do it because I don't want to make mistake. I think it's 7, 12, but who knows? I could make mistake. So 60, oh wait, instead of me, so here. So cube root of 64, it's going to be this one. So 64 will turn to 4, so it's going to be 4. So it's going to be 1/12. That's going to be the slope, okay? Now let me erase this. So we got the slope. So out of this y equals mx plus b, now we have y equals 1/12x plus b. B is y-intercept. We don't know y-intercept yet, but what we know is we can just plug this one in because this one is a x, this one is a y, right? Before we even plug in 10. So let's plug in. Instead of y, I'm going to plug in 2. 1/12. Instead of x, I'm going to plug in 8 plus b. So it's going to be same thing as a 2 equals 8 times 1 is 8/12. Just remember, you can just always put this one on the top here by multiplying it, or you can put it aside, whichever you want. And if you simplify this one, or do I want to simplify now? No. I will just do minus 8/12 both sides. So it's going to be 2 minus 8/12 equals b. And this one is same thing as a 24/12 minus 8/12 equals b. 24 minus 8 is going to be 16/12 equals b. I mean, you can simplify, or you don't have to simplify. If you want to simplify, it's going to be 4/3, but it's up to you. I will just leave it as a 16/12 for now, okay? So let me rewrite this. It's going to be same thing as y equals 1/12x plus 16/12. The reason that I'm not simplifying this one as a 4/3 is because it already has a 12, okay? Now, question is asking find when x is equal to 10. So now finally, instead of x, now we're going to plug in 10. you probably are thinking right now that this is too much, right? But yeah, it is too much. But it is actually, if you understand it, it actually is fun. And I strongly recommend you to do this one, okay? So finally we got this one. And now let's simplify. Divisible by 2, so it's going to be 13 over 6. I cannot divide further, so let's see if I see the answer. Yep, I see 13 over 6. So answer is C. It's that easy. So we're done with our question number 18. Yeah, let's do question number 21. This one is easy. Actually easier than I expected here. Now, do you see this derivative of antiderivative of this one? So by the second fundamental theorem of calculus, these two cancel out. And only thing that really matters is that you just put this one here, the top one. Bottom one doesn't matter because this one is just number that will become derivative of e is going to be 0. So here's the reason. Natural log of, instead of t, now I'm going to put x to the third power squared plus 1. I forgot entire parenthesis. Times derivative of x to the third power, which is 3x squared. That's what you're doing. And supposedly you have to do minus this one, but in that case, what happened is natural log of like e to the e squared, like natural log of e squared plus 1, but derivative of e is going to be 0 because e to the x will still become e to the x, but e just by itself is a number, so that's a 0. So that's why I don't even care about this one. If you do not understand what I'm saying, just remember, only thing that really matters is the top number, 90% of the time. But if you have an x here, yeah, that's going to be a little bit different story. So let's simplify this. X to the third power square is going to be x to the sixth power. So it's going to be the same thing as natural log x to the sixth power plus 1 times, 3x squared, instead of writing here, let me write here, 3x squared times, okay? But you can still bring it down, whichever you want. So as you can see, these two are exactly the same thing, so answer is going to be C. It's that easy. After this, what question did we... Oh, question number 22. So this one is actually easier than expected. So slope field. What you got to do is, I heard that is, you always find when x or y equal to 0. Because only thing that every single this line represents the slope. So it can be positive or negative. But let's look at it. When x is equal to 0, do you see y value is equal to 0? Here, this is when y is equal to 0. No, this is when x is equal to 0. And do you see when x is equal to 0, it's going to be always 0 slope, and so is here. It's not undefined slope, it's a 0 slope. Undefined slope is this one. That's a 0 slope. And when y is equal to 0, x is what? X is also equal to 0 slope. So do you see when y is equal to 0, you're not getting undefined. So these two cannot be the answer because x over 0 should be undefined, which means this graph, this one should be like this, supposedly. But it's getting 0 slope, right? So these two a and b cannot be the answer. This one can be the answer because when x is equal to 0, you're going to get 0. And when y is equal to 0, you still get 0. And so is this. So answer is going to be either C or D. And then what you got to do is, after that, you just choose one random number. It can be 1 or 2 or whichever you want. But do you see 3 is clearly labeled? So I'm going to put 3, 3. When x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 3, do you see slope is going to be somewhat negative number? Watch. If I put 3 and y equal to 3, C is going to be 9. And if I put this one and this one, that's going to be negative 9. But look at this slope, 3, 3. Do you see this one is a negative slope here? So your answer should be D. You can choose any number. For example, if you choose here, which means negative 3, 3, you just plug in, you still should get the same answer. Do you see this one is a slightly positive slope here because it's going like that way? So here, if you look at this, negative 3 times 3, you should get negative 9. Here, negative 3 times 3, you still get positive 9. So do you see it's a positive and positive? That's why it's going to be the answer. That's how it works, okay? So we're done with the question number 22. I think this is the last question that I will go over, and I believe this one is gonna be has the most concept that we need here. Okay, so let's do this one. So question number 26, we have this one. The best way to do it is if you don't even understand what's going on with the concept, just like me. If you're stupid like me, just make it as a graph. As x is equal to 10, 11, 12, 13. See, I'm stupid because I did not have enough space. But you guys are smarter than me, so I'm pretty sure you can do better than me. And for the y value, 5 and 5 and 6. 5 and 6 is the hardest, so I'm going to put this one as a 10, 5, 11, 2, and 12, 3 is slightly bigger than that. And 13, 6 is 13, 6, and 14, I know what you're thinking. There's a huge gap between 6 and 5, but who cares? So let's look at it. So that's the graph. I mean, we don't know how graph looks like, but it can go like that. It's not always like this. It can even go like this. It can even go like that. Okay? But what I know for sure is, I don't know how it goes. It goes with stuff like that. But this second point is below 10. Like where does it go? What I know is this one, I don't know how it goes, but it is below here, right? So it's going down no matter what. No matter how graph do like this, it will eventually go down like that. That's what matters the most. So keep that in this concept, okay? So let's see one by one. Y value is going to be always greater than 0 from 10 to 14. And you will probably think, yeah, all these points are above 0, so that should be true, right? That's not necessarily true. As I say, this graph can go like that. We just don't know. What we know is the graph is continuous. That's what is given to us. But it can go here like that, we don't know, okay? So the first one is not true. So f prime, which means the slope, exists for all interval of this one. That is not also necessarily true. Yet it is continuous, which means you're not going to have something like this. But it is possible that you're going to have undefined slope, such as like this. If you have something like this, do you see this pike? You cannot derive this one. It is continuous, but you cannot differentiate. So, when you have some pike like this one is f prime does not exist on that particular point because it's undefined slope. So that's not true. Now, slope is gonna be negative from 0 to what? From 10 to 11. 10 to 11. Again, yep, it is going down. But is it possible that we are going to have a positive slope? Yes, because here, do you see it's going up and then going down? We have a positive slope here. It is possible. So it's not always true. So that's not also true. Therefore, by law of elimination or stuff like that, D is going to be the answer. Why D is equal to 0? Now, here, 12. This one is going down. And do you see 12? It cannot be 0 at that moment. Why? Because this one is going up cycle, going upward cycle. It cannot be 0. This one can be 0 because at here, it can be 0 and then going up. But this point is already going upward cycle, so it cannot be really equal to 0 at this particular point. It's supposedly if it can be like that, no, that's not going to happen. So the answer is going to be D. Do I truly understand this one? Not really, but it is what it is. So answer is going to be D. And that's about it. I think I went over all the questions that I could not explain last time in class. So I hope this one helps. I will try to make more videos with the like calculator session one, okay? All right, that's about it, guys. I love you. Bye.